Okay, this is your first reply to me, which is from my a response to my two audiobooks, which none of you would ever have the fucking dignity to even or to purchase because you'd be too chicken shit. You'd get so fucking triggered over what I have to say. Publish a book on how this government works, how individual liberty works, and when you fuck it up, there are consequences. You haven't heard my book. You haven't heard either of these books. How would you know what I'm even saying? Okay, anyway. Now, this one, you're already turning this into a clusterfuck, so I'll do my best here. Okay, so the root comment is this. It's from Marjorie. Now, I will say here that Democrats will seize on the murder of children to force through a gun grab. Whatever that I don't even know exactly what that means. I'm guessing she's trying to accuse Democrats of taking your guns, which her idea of backing that up is Tucker Carlson, whom none of you would be able to back up or prove has any credibility, as a lot of people are saying that he inspired the Buffalo shooter, which probably is true. But she doesn't have any kind of sources to cite on this, that Democrats are trying to take all your guns away, let alone proof of those sources' legitimacy. So moving on here. Correct. Nothing, just correct. Democrats will seize. Yeah, so of course I disagree because there's nothing there. And you didn't provide anything either. In fact, you go on straw man bullshit, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Okay, so I ask you, are guns more important to you than children? And I think this was the first one. Yeah, guns protect children. What do you think killed the shooter? Harsh language? I don't even know what you're talking about. Killing the shooter? When did I mention anything about killing the shooter? Are you saying guns killed the shooter? Well, how did the shooter get the gun? And you talk about bad people out there. Well, okay, you're talking about protecting children, but you're arguing. Marjorie was going on about guns being taken away from the Democrats. That's the context here. And that's what you asked me if I disagree about. And then you go on about protecting children. Well, what does that have to do with Democrats supposedly taking the guns away from you? Nothing. And to focus on this, would children need protection if all these bad people were taken care of? If America had mental institutions, I guess, to take all these people in, to get them committed and get the treatment that they need? I mean, you guys have no idea what the fuck is going on. There are many bad people in America, as you call them. A lot of these shooters. I mean, I remember uploading a video years ago. These shootings have been going on for almost a century, I think, or something like that. It's been going on for decades. The first one was Charles something. I can't remember offhand, but I guess he he set up in a fucking clock tower, I think. And that was way back. I don't even remember what decade that was. It was a long fucking time ago. But all you can do is talk about protecting children while the guns are the main context here. I mean, I've been asking around for people to explain exactly what the Second Amendment says. And the key word there is well-regulated militia. Are you in a militia? Is every American in a militia? No? Then how does the Second Amendment apply to any of you? Are shooters the government? Then why do you need guns against them? I mean, What are you guys even doing about these shooters? Nothing. You're talking about protecting children with guns. Your obsession with guns is the problem, aside from all these bad people, these mentally ill people. You're not looking at the big picture. You're not at all concerned with why America is so engulfed in fucking violence. Why this epidemic of gun violence exists. And for so long. You right-wing people are so fucking paranoid of the government trying to take your guns away, and you're using this school shooting and abortion in argument to defend your gun rights as you claim the Second Amendment provides you, while, as I just said, the Second Amendment specifies a well-regulated militia against the government. What does the shooter have to do with the government? The left wing are only trying to say gun control and background checks, as you just said, because there are so many bad people over there. There are so many people who are mentally ill. Why else would they shoot a school up or even a supermarket? Why would all these random shootings go on in America all this time? Are you trying to say the left is trying to call for a gun ban while they're only requesting the government to implement gun control through background checks? Is that it? You're picking a moronic point because you're an idiot hack. This coming from a guy who couldn't even stay to the context provided by Marjorie that Democrats are allegedly trying to take guns away from all of you, while people are using these guns to kill your children, which you're crying about protecting. But I'm the idiot. It's the policies, as you emphasize here, of your kind that created this. Okay, what is my kind? I didn't say anything about my fucking kind. All I ever did was ask questions. What are you talking about policies of my, and what is my kind? You didn't even ask me. And if you did, you would know by now that I'm not even American. I'm politically independent. I have my own ideas. I don't have policies. Okay, asshole? Your safe spaces, your weak in the knees, gutless complaints when someone calls in. What are you fucking talking about? What safe spaces have I ever when did I say anything about safe spaces? This is all nothing. You have nothing. You're strawmanning the shit out of me. That's all this is. And you get 9 likes for this motherfucker. Now let's look at the 3. Well, you got some replies. You got some support from people here, I think. And I replied to them. Yeah. Okay, so looking at your 2 replies to this. Well, would protection ever be necessary? So you don't even answer that. Right here you go into abortion. Well, you first tell me to get off the stage. You tell me to go back to Twitter and Facebook. And then you go on about free speech again. We can censor you too. Who did I censor? Maybe Twitter and Facebook is censoring people, but what does that have to do with me? You know nothing about me. You're just making an assertion. You're strawmanning me again. Your kind loves opportunity. You're doing that now, so let's get something straight. Your kind aborts people at will and on spite. So now you're talking about, again, abortion. What the fuck does abortion have to do with anything? We're talking about already born kids. And the bad people are already born. So what the fuck does this have to do with abortion, asshole? Liberal ripper? Tough guy? You complain about all this shit, but you don't answer my questions. You just evade everything I fucking say. Straw man after straw man after straw man. And you get support for all this shit. You have fuck all.